Imagine this. You have lived in the United States for years. You have followed every rule. You have paid your taxes. You have a job, a home, and a family here. And one day you decide to take a quick trip outside the country, maybe to see a sick parent, attend a family wedding, or just take a short vacation. You pack your bags, you board the plane, and you leave. But when you try to come back, a U.S. Customs officer stops you at the airport and says those 7 words no one ever wants to hear. You are not allowed to re-enter. Just like that, your entire life inside the United States, your job, your family, everything you worked for, is on the other side of a door that is now locked. And the worst part? This is not a horror story. This is actually happening to real people right now in 2026. And if you or someone you love hold certain types of visas or immigration documents, you are at serious risk of this happening to you too. Stay with me because what I am about to share in this video could save your life in America. Right now in March 2026, the United States immigration system has gone through some of the biggest changes in decades. The rules around who can travel outside the US and safely come back have become extremely strict. And here is what shocks most people. You do not have to be doing anything wrong for this to happen to you. You could have a perfectly legal status, a valid document in your hand, and still end up stuck outside the country with no way back in. Most people have no idea about these changes until it is too late. So let us break this down step by step and talk about exactly which people should not be stepping foot outside the United States right now, and why. The first and most urgent group is people who have a pending adjustment of status application. If you have already filed your green card application inside the United States and your case is still being processed by USCIS, leaving the country without a special travel document called advance parole is the single biggest mistake you could make. When you file for a green card through adjustment of status, the rules say clearly that if you leave the United States before your application is approved, USCIS considers your application abandoned. That means all your filing fees, all the years of waiting, all the paperwork, gone. Just because you stepped outside. It does not matter if your trip was for 1 week or 1 day. If you leave without advance parole approval, your case is dead. Now some people say, well, I have advance parole, so I am safe. And here is where things get even more dangerous. Hold on, because this part is critical. Having advance parole does not guarantee that you can come back into the United States. Let me say that again. Having advance parole does not guarantee re-entry. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers at the airport have full legal authority to stop you, question you, and even deny your entry, even if your advance parole document is sitting right there in your hand. In today's environment, they are using that authority more than ever before. People with completely valid documents are being pulled into secondary inspection rooms, questioned for hours, and in some cases sent back to their home country. This is not a rare exception anymore. It is happening regularly. If you hold advance parole based on a pending green card application, TPS status, or DACA status, traveling outside the U.S. right now is one of the riskiest decisions you can make. Now let us talk about TPS holders, people with temporary protected status. If you have TPS, you already know that your status has been under attack. In 2026, over 1 million TPS holders from countries like Venezuela, Haiti, El Salvador, and others are facing serious threats to their legal status. But here is something many TPS holders do not realize. Even if your TPS is still active, you cannot legally travel outside the United States unless you have applied for and received a separate travel document called advance parole. And right now, advance parole applications are being processed slowly and with heavy scrutiny. If you leave without it, you could be barred from coming back permanently. The government does not have to give you a second chance. Your status could be considered abandoned the moment you walk through that departure gate. Now here is something that affects a huge number of people. The 39-country travel ban that went into effect on January 1st, 2026. President Trump signed a new presidential proclamation that expanded the previous travel ban to now cover nationals of 39 countries. These include countries like Afghanistan, Haiti, Iran, Venezuela, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Libya, Chad, Cuba, North Korea, and many more. If you are a national of any of these countries and you are currently inside the United States on a non-immigrant visa, like an H-1B work visa, an F-1 student visa, a B-1 or B-2 visitor visa, or any other type, and you step outside the United States, there is a very real chance you will not be able to come back. The travel ban restricts re-entry for nationals of these countries who are outside the United States and do not hold a currently valid visa stamp. So if your visa stamp has expired, but your status inside the country is still valid, which is perfectly normal and legal, the moment you leave and try to come back, you could be completely blocked at the border or the embassy. And speaking of expired visa stamps, this is a situation that catches thousands of people off guard every single year. Here is how it works. When you are inside the United States on an H-1B or any work visa, your status is tied to your I-94 form and your employer's petition, not your visa stamp and your passport. So you can legally live and work in America, even if the actual visa stamp in your passport has expired. That is completely normal. But here is the critical part. The moment you leave the United States, you cannot come back in with an expired visa stamp. You have to go to a US consulate in another country and get a new stamp. And right now, getting a visa stamp from a US consulate abroad is a nightmare. Appointments are backed up by months. In some countries, the wait time is over a year. Some consulates have reduced their services. And with the current immigration climate, there is no guarantee your visa renewal will even be approved. So if your visa stamp is expired and you are thinking about traveling outside the US for any reason, even a family emergency, you need to understand that you might not be coming back for a very long time. Let us also talk about green card holders, because a lot of permanent residents think they are completely safe to travel anywhere they want. And while green card holders do have more protection than visa holders, they are not immune. If you are a green card holder and you stay outside the United States for more than 6 months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection can start questioning whether you truly intend to live in America permanently. And if you stay outside for more than 1 year without getting a re-entry permit before you leave, they can legally assume that you have abandoned your green card. That means you could arrive at the airport after visiting family abroad, hand over your green card, and a CBP officer could refuse to let you back in and initiate proceedings to take away your permanent resident status. This is not a scare tactic. It is written right into U.S. immigration law, and in 2026, officers are enforcing it more aggressively than ever before. So what should you do before you even think about traveling outside the United States? First, check your visa stamp. Not just your status, but the actual stamp in your passport. If it is expired, do not leave. Second, if you have a pending green card application, make absolutely sure you have an approved advance parole document in your hand before you go anywhere. Not just filed, approved. Third, if you are a TPS holder or a DACA recipient, consult an immigration attorney before you book any flight. Fourth, if you are a green card holder and you are planning a long trip, anything over 3 or 4 months, apply for a re-entry permit before you leave. It protects you for up to 2 years. Fifth, if your home country is on the 39-country travel ban list, even if your visa is currently valid, think very carefully and get legal advice before you take that trip, because the immigration landscape in 2026 is changing rapidly, and the rules could tighten even further. Here is the hard truth that many immigrants are only beginning to realize. Immigration rules in the United States are evolving at a speed we have not seen before. In just the past year, enforcement policies, travel scrutiny, documentation requirements, and status reviews have changed more rapidly than they did over the previous 20 years combined. Actions that felt completely normal in 2023 or even early 2024, extended travel outside the US, delayed paperwork, job transitions without immediate filings, or assuming past approvals guaranteed future safety, can now carry serious immigration risks. The system has shifted from being reactive to highly proactive, meaning authorities are reviewing cases more closely and applying rules more strictly than before. What makes this situation even more difficult is that the government does not send personal warnings before consequences happen. There is no reminder email telling you your status is at risk, no officer calling to explain that a small mistake could trigger major problems. Responsibility now falls entirely on immigrants to stay informed, monitor policy updates, and act before issues arise. Because once you are stuck outside the country due to travel complications, once your green card is flagged for review, or once USCIS considers your application abandoned, reversing that damage becomes extremely complicated. Re-entry can take months or even years, legal costs can become overwhelming, and emotional stress affects entire families. The reality is painful but important. Protecting your life in America today requires awareness, preparation, and timely action, because not everyone who loses status is able to recover it. If this video helped you understand what is happening with immigration rules and travel risks, take a moment to share it with the people around you, your family members, friends, co-workers, and neighbors who are living in the United States on a visa, a green card, or any temporary immigration status. Many immigrants do not hear about important policy changes until it is already too late. And one small piece of information can make a huge difference in protecting someone's future. By sharing this video, you are not just passing along news. You could be helping someone avoid a serious mistake, protect their legal status, and keep their American dream on track. Information spreads fast, but accurate information spreads safety, and your share could truly help someone stay prepared. If you want clear, real, and updated immigration information explained in simple English, without complicated legal terms or confusing government language, make sure you subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Immigration policies in the United States are changing faster than ever, and missing one update can sometimes lead to denied applications, travel problems, or unexpected legal trouble. Our goal is to break down every major immigration update step by step, so you always understand what is happening, why it matters to you, and what actions you should take next to stay protected and confident about your future in the US. Now I want to hear directly from you, because every immigration journey is different. Are you currently on a visa, waiting for your green card approval, or planning international travel this year? What worries you the most right now? Re-entry issues, processing delays, policy changes, or something else? Share your situation in the comments below so we can learn from each other as a community. I read every single comment carefully, and I personally respond to as many viewers as possible because your questions help shape future videos. Let's work through these challenges together, support one another, and make sure everyone stays informed, prepared, and protected.